Hi subscribers, hi viewers. I've realized people don't like Africa and they look down on Africans because Africa is corrupt. Africa is one of the most corrupt continents in the world. And the reason why it's corrupt is because of the leaders. African leaders are very corrupt. And they are corrupted by former colonizers. They are corrupted by power, and they are corrupted by wealth. So all this corruption really affects Africa, and it affects Africans, which is funny because I was realizing I'm African myself. I have lived in Europe, and currently I'm residing in China. And you know, everybody, most of the business people that I've spoke to, that I've met, they always want to do business, or they always want something from Africa, and they always ask me. Believe it or not, I have tried to do a couple of businesses in Africa. The second I left the continent, or I left a country to go on about my business and other things, you come back, nothing exists. It's like you're starting from square one. All the machinery has been sold, everything. So you have to be there if you want to do business in Africa. I have traveled to Africa as well with one of my friends, a Chinese guy. He lived there. He was not impressed. I was taking, at that moment, I was doing gold mining. And he did not understand why we traveled in remote areas without any access at all, but he could not believe the amount of gold that was coming out of that area, and why people lived in poverty, right? That the government were failing to do such thing, to provide purified or clean water, such as drilling a borehole. But in that area, I'm sure the people in that region were making enough money for the government to even build an asphalt road from the capital to that place. I'm not going to mention the name, and because I don't want any problems in the future. Like, I travel a lot, and I will meet the government there. You know how corrupt they are and how the security services are. I've got into trouble before of being anti-government as a lobbyist. So anyway, this is what's happening in Africa. You will find that the Minister of Education in an African country, his children do not go to schools in the same country. They go abroad. They go to Europe. They go to Asia. That's where they study. The Minister of Health, when he gets sick, when he's unwell, he does not get treated in Africa. A plane has to be chartered for him to go to Europe, to go to North America, to go to Asia. Minister of Transport, the Minister of Transport he decides to live in the city. He does not want to travel. Or Minister of Roads and Transport also does not want to travel, to go outside, because the roads are unserviced, and they prefer to use helicopters because they do not like traveling in such bad roads. The presidents, they live in mansions, and people around the president, they are looters. And looting is one of the worst thing, and one of the only thing that's destroying Africa. And it has come down. I was watching an interview where people were being asked about corruption in Zimbabwe, and they're like, It's a way of life here. It's either you beat them or you join them. I watched the same thing about Nigeria. They said, if I'm not doing it, somebody else is doing it. So it's better for me to eat. You understand? So corruption is one thing that's destroying Africa, and it's something that needs to be done. And the root of this is because everything is new. Everything is new. We're talking about the current leadership. Either it's the first generation from independence, when from the country became stopped being a colony to become an independent country, and the second generation. It's never the third generation. So everything is transitioning. When people go into power, they always want what the white men had. They always want that. And they are thinking and assuming that to be in power, to be a ruler, and having copied how the colonizers treated the locals, the natives, they think is the same way of treating them. And it's like they're ignoring the fact that those people are the same race, they are their people, they are the same tribe, same culture. Even the genocides that's happening in Africa, I am honest. It's so funny. You meet an Asian person, they always think that Africans are barbaric. Chinese, that's what they think. Like, Africa is so rich and wealthy, but why is there so much poverty? Well, the white people, they will come down. In fact, the Caucasians will do the same thing as well. And the Caucasians understand because they colonized us and they installed that mind attitude, the mentality for leaders. You have to understand African politics for you really to get down to it. Or the scrap metal. Here is a street, seems like mainly people are doing scrapping. So for Africa to prosper and succeed, I think the first thing that needs to be done is to fight corruption. Corruption is the only thing that's killing Africa. It's not education. It's not colonization, because I can say all African countries now, they're independent. It's not bureaucracy. It's just plain and simple corruption. And you can find corruption, I'm talking about from the president's office to the street vendor. Nurses are corrupt, doctors are corrupt, police officers are corrupt, the immigration officials are corrupt, the military is corrupt, business people are corrupt. What else? I can go A up to Z. The street vendor is corrupt. Children in schools are corrupt. So the only thing that can make Africa to do, and it's going to take maybe a generation or so for it to transform and prosper, because right now Africa has got the hugest young and dynamic population in the world. Things have to be done from bottom up. Like I said, I have lived in Europe. Right now I'm residing in China, and what I see is not really pleasing as a black man and as a black person, because I've seen how people act and how they react and what they think of Africans. I don't want to say they are racist, because some people, when they speak the truth, will take an offense and say, no, that person is racist. No, they are not racist. Let's first fight corruption, then we can talk about the rest. Right? Look at China, how it has transformed in the last few years. Within the last, let's say, the last 50 years, how China is transformed. And let's look at the Middle East, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, because those countries are not corrupt. those countries are not corrupt. Where there's no corruption, people prosper. Right? Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment.